Okay, we're going to move on to another use of the reflexive pronoun. Remember, the reflexive pronoun ends in the self or selves. Okay, and there's another use. Usually, there's always an antecedent, unless it's the understood you, as in the command, as we've already discussed. But usually, when we use the reflexive pronoun, it's a necessary part of the sentence. We can't get rid of it because it usually is acting as an object of a preposition. It's usually the object of a preposition or the object of a verb. Okay, it's usually necessary to the sentence for the sentence to make sense. Okay, for example, let's take this one. Jane encouraged Stan to do it himself. Try doing it by. I can't stand traveling by. You know, the sentences are incomplete. They need something at the end. It serves as an object. But there is another use of the reflexive pronoun, and it's one we don't see very often. And we usually use it for emphasis. All right. So it says, I wouldn't turn down the offer myself. It says, here the reflexive pronoun myself has been added to an already complete sentence. So if we got rid of that, we could say, I wouldn't turn down the offer. That is a complete sentence. Now, the reason myself is put there is because they wanted to really emphasize it. All right. So I wouldn't turn down the offer myself. All right. So that's another way to put it. The other thing you can see is when this pronoun right here is used like that as an emphasis, when it's just put on the end of a sentence for emphasis, you can move that reflexive pronoun to another position. You can move it right after the antecedent. Okay. You could say instead, I, comma, myself, comma, wouldn't turn down the offer. Wouldn't turn down the offer. And if you go back to the other sentences that we did, you're going to find in the other sentences when we use the reflexive pronoun, when it acts as an object of a preposition or an object of a verb, you're going to find that you cannot move that pronoun, that antecedent. You can't move that reflexive pronoun right behind the antecedent. All right, and just go back and try that and see if you can. You're going to find that you cannot move it because it's needed to make the sentence complete. But these are used for emphasis, and I'll give several more examples. And you can see that it's not necessary to the sentence, so you can move that reflexive pronoun around. Okay, and they're going to show you right here. They put I myself wouldn't turn down the offer. I thought there was commas there. But maybe there's not. I guess you wouldn't need to set that off. I think you can put commas there because if you can lift it out of the sentence, remember, then you can separate it out by commas. But we'll get into that later. I would use commas there, but I guess you don't have to. It says here are some more examples of reflexive pronouns, and you can see that all these are deleted or moved. Okay, he wouldn't do that himself. He wouldn't do that. He himself wouldn't do that. Okay? There's two ways that they do it. They didn't know the answers themselves. They didn't know the answers, and they themselves didn't know the answers. So you can delete it or you can move it. Okay? We intended to go to Italy ourselves. We intended to go to Italy. We ourselves intended to go to Italy. These are all put there for emphasis. She decorated her house, the new house herself. Or I myself made dinner, right? So you sometimes put that reflexive pronoun in there to emphasize that to give credit to someone, okay? So, and then they're going to give examples of when it's used as an object. When the reflexive pronoun is used in the normal way, it is the object of a verb or of a preposition. And they're going to show you that you can't delete those or move them. So let me show you that. When they're not used for emphasis but are necessary to the sentence. I cut myself. I cut myself. I cut. You change the meaning of the sentence if you just put that. I myself cut. Okay, that doesn't make sense because you're changing the meaning of the sentence of I cut myself. Okay. We wanted to finish it by ourselves. We wanted to finish it by. It's incomplete. Or we ourselves wanted to finish it by. And so it's because we have the preposition at the end, we have to have an object to it. All right, so that's where you use the reflexive pronoun. All right, so you can see that you can't give those. It says in exercise 5.5, it says underline the reflexive pronouns in the following sentences. Write emphatic or functional above each one as appropriate. If the pronoun is emphatic, confirm your answer by moving it to a position next to its antecedent. So you're going to have to rewrite these sentences if it's emphatic. Emphatic means emphasis, and that's a pretty big word. Emphatic, that is an emphatic no. Okay, emphatic is if it's used for emphasis. Emphasis. Okay, so that's the emphatic use of a personal pronoun. So if it's used for emphasis, if you can move it around in the sentence and you can delete it and still have the sentence complete, then you would put emphatic above it. Okay, so I gave him the assignment. I myself gave him the assignment. So that's the emphatic use. Okay, so is it used as a functional use? Functional means is necessary to the sentence, or it's used in the emphatic, which means it's not necessary to the sentence. The district attorney took the case himself. Okay, and I would write, ooh, this is emphatic, because I can rewrite it. The district attorney himself took the case. So I'd have to write emphatic. The engine started running again by itself. Well, this is functional. How do I know it's functional? Well, I know right away because it has a preposition. It's the object of this preposition. You can't say the engine started running by. It's incomplete. So I would write functional. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. And I think there's, go ahead and do the 10 of them that are there. And as always, if you have questions, please come before school or after school, and I will definitely help you out with it. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Actually, before we go, that actually wraps up our unit on pronouns. And we're going to do one more pronoun. We're going to review this pronoun in the next video, and it's the difference between its and its. Okay, the possessive its and it is. Okay, and this is often misused, and so I think that we need to throw a unit in here on it, a special unit all its own. And so next time we're going to go ahead and do its and its, so we can distinguish the difference of how to use them properly. All right. Well, after that video, then it will be we'll be done with the section on pronouns. Good luck, and I'll see you in the it and its video.